Hello there, and thank you so much for purchasing Rocket Lasso's Utility Spline Collection. Now, presumably you have purchased, downloaded, and unzipped, moved inside of that unzipped folder, and are currently watching this install Mac video. It's pretty straightforward to install. There are two different versions depending on what version of Cinema 4D you're using on the Mac. If you are in R20, you need this copy here. If you're in 21 or beyond, like all the way up to the most up-to-date, you're going to use this 21 Plus. That's everything else. So that is definitely the one I'm going to be using here. I want to install in Cinema 4D 2023 in this case. So the first thing you do is whichever one of these files you want to be installing, drag it into some other location on your computer so it's not living inside your downloads. That could be on a Dropbox folder or on a shared drive or wherever you like to store your plugins. So I'm not going to do that here, but let's say I've dragged that into some new location. Now, once it's in the new location, travel inside of the folder. Here's just the process I like to do. And right-click on any file inside of it and say Get Info. It's going to pop open this little info window. And there's going to be something called Where, and that is the install location of this file. I would like to select all of that text after Where and say Command-C for copy. I've copied that text. Now, I can travel into whatever current version of Cinema that I'm using. So pop that open, and then under Edit, Preferences, or you click Command-E, it'll pop open your Preferences window. Travel into Plugins, and here's a list of all of your plugins that you have installed. I'm going to say Add Folder, and I just need to select any random folder. It doesn't matter. I can just say, here's my desktop. I'll say, yeah, go ahead, open that, and that's now a path to my desktop. But what I can do is double-click on that text and say Paste, so Command-V, and now that text that I copied is now here. So that is the updated path where that plugin should live. So closing that down. Now close down your copy of Cinema, so I'll say File Quit. It'll close down Cinema. I'm going to relaunch Cinema 4D. And now that it has that new path, it knows to find that new plugin wherever it happened to be installed. Once Cinema 4D is open, you should be able to find your plugin by clicking on your Extension or Plugins dropdown, depending on the version of Cinema. And there you should see a folder that you can get this flyout that's going to show all of the new plugins. So here's the new Bezier, Cleanup, Reduction, Resample, here's Smooth. And to do a quick demo of it, if I click on Smooth, I can feed in something like a rectangle, drop it inside of Smooth. And inside of Smooth, I'll say, hey, change the point input to be step-based, and now I can grab my iterations and make that as smoothed out as I want to. Okay, one last detail. I'm going to tab back over to, if you go back to your zip file, you're going to see that there is a link here to the help page, and there you'll find a whole bunch of videos walking through every single parameter, all 5 different plugins, every single little detail that you could want. So definitely click on this and watch the videos included. And then there's also an example files folder. So if you double click on that, inside you'll find 14 different files that you can reverse engineer, play around with, tinker, just ways of learning how to play with these new tools. A couple of these files will require some of the other Rocket Lasso plugins like Ricochet or Slicer, but we call it out. And in one, we're using the fire simulation inside of Cinema 4D in 2023. So I'm calling that out in the file name as well. But besides that, you've got all the details you need to play around with. So that should wrap up this installation. Again, thank you so much for purchasing, and I'll see you in a future tutorial or live stream. Bye-bye.